The global population increases at an estimated 82 million people per year, and according to UN Habitat, 3 million people move to the cities every week. By 2030, 60% of the world's population will be living in urban areas. It is these grim statistics that have necessitated discussions on the need for innovative solutions to promote better and healthier environments to live and work in. One of these solutions is through better urban planning, which entails making physical plans and development regulations that make cities livable and improve the residents' quality of life.
Either don't leave things to get worse, or do something to start addressing the challenges. What is on paper might not what you're really going to meet down there when you go and to offer services. And already you have the little resource you have, and service must be offered. You cannot actually postpone it. So we have to do something. Yeah, the little way we can. But the law or the professionals also need to be flexible. Yeah, and in fact that's why you find even from the issue of gazetting some areas as special planning zones, so that we bring that into factor.
The Kenya Informal Settlements Improvement Project, KISIP, which seeks to improve the living conditions of people in informal settlements in 15 selected urban towns in 14 counties across the country, has heeded the UN Habitat call of leaving no one behind.
KISIP wakati iliingia, tukaanzana na wao na tumeshirikiana vizuri na wao, tumekuwa tukikoordinate vizuri sana na wao kwa sababu wametufanyia imegawa, tumewekewa beacons, tumewekewa barabara, tuko na mambo mingi tunaweza sema tumefanywa mazuri, na hata tunaona uzuri sana wa KISIP kwa sababu tumekuwa compensated kwa sababu nyumba zetu tumeondoa kwa barabara, na tumeshukuru sana kwa vile tumefanywa hiyo kazi ikawa mzuri, na tumeona watu tunashirikiana na hao vizuri.
Ya planning na KISIP maisha imekuwa sio mzuri, the planning has been bad, watu wanajenga kwa barabara. So we hope by the end of the meeting, by the end of the program, tutakuwa na plan mzuri, barabara, sewer lines, drainage water line, and I think kila kitu itakuwa mzuri.
Looking at the settlements and the way people settle is a big challenge, because without having the settlements having been planned, the people settled in a hazard way. And of course now when you're bringing infrastructure, you need to move people. One of our key elements in the program was that any movement of people has to be done in a humane manner. You cannot just move people without providing an alternative or probably providing monetary compensation. And therefore, we had what we used to call LAPs, that is the relocation action plans, whereby we are able to know which people we are going to move, and then they are able to relocate so that we can now come in with the infrastructure.
It has contributed significantly to urban development and management initiatives in line with the United Nations Millennium Development Goals, Goal number 7, Target 7D, that seeks to achieve significant improvement in the lives of at least 100 million slum dwellers by the year 2020.
KISIP, being a government agency, has really provided critical lessons in as far as improvement of informal settlements is concerned. Remember, this is something that even at the global scale, if you look at the Millennium Development Goals, it was a critical, goal in the Millennium Development Goal, and even now in the SDGs.
We bring on board all the departments and the stakeholders who are in the lead in doing this planning. So in that case, we bring all our heads together and see how to work to achieve this one goal.
According to the World Cities Report of 2016, planning regulations in developing and transition countries are often too detailed and inflexible, making compliance so challenging that people tend to bypass them altogether. However, backed by reliable data and the realities on the ground, KISIP adopted solutions that were both practical and flexible, which meant, for example, that the sizes of roads constructed factored in the realities on the ground as opposed to what the standard designs recommended.
we analyze the best practices and we look at the Kenyan scenario. Because you find like you have a corridor of just 6 meters corridor, but you need to do drains, you need to lay pipes for water and sewer, and that is the only space you have.
Basing on the challenges on ground, we go up to proposing footpaths of up to 3 meters, which is not an easy task in convincing these approving authorities to agree. It is not in planning law that we approve roads of population up to 8,000 people. Roads of 3 meters, that is it is something that we have really made it our way to provide that.
KISIP was determined to go against the grain, and in Phase 1 also integrated a gender mainstreaming output, which for example saw women considered as beneficiaries and therefore issued with title deeds despite the cultural understanding that they can only have land rights or access through a male relative. This was in recognition that female-headed households are becoming more common in urban areas and are projected to make up to 20% of urban households.
Gender was a critical element in KISIP in the sense that we were aiming at ensuring both genders benefit, both the men and women, especially the women, because it's known for a fact that women miss out on opportunities, and KISIP went out flat to ensure that the women in those informal settlements benefited, not just from infrastructure, but also from tenure. And tenure, we are talking about titles.
Nyumba ici twakite na mabati na ciari cia ndoro tondu uria matwikiire ona tutingihota kuriha nwaigua tondu matwikireire bara na tukaheo na tugathondekerwo gicagi ati riria turi heo taitu tondu nicio twetereire akorwo ni mwanake ucio wakwa ari akahau kanyumba kayaini kau gakwa.
To put the country on the path to attaining sustainable urban development, specifically the aspirations to facilitate access to affordable housing for all, KISIP provided technical assistance to Nairobi, Mombasa and Kisumu counties for the development of their housing and urban development plans.
We did a policy for three major cities. That is for Nairobi, Mombasa and Kisumu. And actually it was basically the housing policy, looking at the agenda, the current presidential agenda, the big four. And we find that our cities are developing like villages. So we wanted to make a distinction. And this policy was not only on the city, we were looking at the wider county, because housing is not only an issue in the city but also in the countryside. So the policy was looking at the best ways to go about it and to inform laws which can actually actualize housing both at the urban and rural areas. And that's what actually informed the formulation of housing policies for the 3 counties.
KISIP now hopes that these 3 county governments will go ahead and implement the proposed initiatives that can transform both their rural and urban areas, spur economic activity and growth, create thousands of new jobs and a safer environment that would lift millions of people out of poverty.
What we want to do now is to work with the counties where these policies have been done and give them a bit of capacity building so that they can start to implement those policies. So that is one of the things that we are going to be doubling down on, and then also help the others. Also, people don't like this benchmarking, but we like to benchmark locally as well, so that even other counties, they can accelerate their own housing policies.
Despite experiencing some teething problems at the beginning, Akach is proud of the achievements of this component, which has contributed towards the formalization of the informal settlements that KISIP has intervened in.
That's one achievement. You see it happens, you see an adult crying out of happiness that you've helped them. You've opened their eyes. That's an achievement. It's so satisfying working with those people and you see them, help them actually focus on the future. Because planning is just futuristic, just helping them focus, help them put their dreams into paper. That is satisfying. It's really you feel good. Yeah, you feel good and they appreciate.
KISIP believes that everyone has a role to play in getting rid of informal settlements and making cities safe, inclusive, resilient and sustainable. This will only be possible with effective planning, which portends a myriad of benefits, including reducing the rate at which cities are expanding, lowering the high cost occasioned by inefficiencies in energy consumption, waste disposal, and infrastructure provision.